One job, one mistake, and everything you built gone. I've watched it happen. I've lived through it. And today I'm giving you the 10 ways contractors get in this industry without even seeing it coming. What's going on, everyone? Joel Lipsky here. I'm a construction business owner based out of New York. I've been in this industry my entire life, and I've seen things that would make your head spin. Today, I'm sharing 10 of them today. Pay attention. Before I get into the list, I want to be straight with you. This might be the most important video I ever make on this channel because I'm not talking theory here. I'm not reading from a textbook. Every single one of these 10 things I've seen firsthand, or I've learned about it directly from my mentors who lived through it. Real businesses, real contractors, real losses. And here's the scary part. Most of them never saw it coming. That's the thing about this industry. Construction will humble you fast. You could be talented, you could be hardworking, you can have good people around you, and still one bad job, one missed clause in a contract, and the whole thing collapses like a stack of cards. So pay attention, take notes, because if even one of these saves your business, this video did its job. Let's get into it. So number 10, not understanding construction accounting. Let's start here because most contractors don't even realize this is a problem until it's too late. You're building, you're managing people, projects, timelines, pressure, your family life, and somewhere in the background, your books are a mess. Here's the truth. Construction accounting is not the same as regular accounting. It's not just income and expenses. You've got job costing, retention, WIP schedules, overbilling, underbilling. And if you don't understand what those mean, you're flying blind. I've seen contractors with millions of dollars in revenue go broke, not because they didn't have the work, because they didn't understand where the money was going. You need to know your numbers. You need to know if a job is making money while it's happening, not just when it's done. If your accountant doesn't specialize in construction, that's a problem. If you don't review your financials regularly, that's a problem. And here's something I did not understand at first. Once you find a way to make money, you need to find a way to keep the money. Those are two completely different skill sets, and most contractors only focus on the first one. This is where a good CPA with a strong tax strategy comes in, not just someone who files your returns at the end of the year. Someone who's sitting down with you quarterly, looking at your numbers and helping you make smart decisions about how your business is structured and how you're legally minimizing what you owe. The difference between a reactive CPA and a proactive one can be tens of thousands of dollars a year. I've lived through that difference. Making money in construction is hard enough. Losing it to taxes, poor planning, or bad advice, that is avoidable. A great CPA who understands construction isn't an expense. They're an investment that pays for itself every single year. Not understanding your numbers is a slow death. And by the time you see it, it's usually too late. Number 9, fucking up the field install. You can do everything right on paper, win the job, write a solid contract, build a great team, and still lose everything because the work in the field was done wrong. Bad installs cost money. Rework is one of the most expensive things that can happen on a job site. You're paying labor twice. You're losing time on your schedule, and now you've got an angry owner breathing down your neck. And it compounds. One bad install delays the next trade, and suddenly you've got a schedule that's completely blown and a client who's done trusting you. The field is where your reputation is built or destroyed. Your guys need to know exactly what they're doing before they touch anything. Scope needs to be clear. Drawings need to be reviewed. RFIs need to be submitted before work starts, not after something goes wrong. And here's the first line of defense against all of it. Your site superintendent. They are the ones on the front lines of the battle. They are your eyes and ears on every job site every single day. They are giving you real-time information on what's happening, what's falling behind, and what's about to go wrong before it actually does. The best superintendents are proactive, not reactive. They're not waiting for a problem to show up and then scrambling to fix it. They're 2 steps ahead. They're walking the job every single morning. They know the schedule. They're communicating with every trade, and they're flagging issues before those issues turn into a crisis. A proactive site superintendent saves you time, money, and reputation on every single job. And here's something else a great superintendent understands: trust no one and verify at all times. And I mean that. Just because a subcontractor has executed work for you before and nothing went wrong does not mean it's not going to happen on the next one. This is the definition of complacency. Sometimes a subcontractor gets busy and overextended. Sometimes they just get distracted. Sometimes instead of sending their A crew, they send you their C crew. And if no one on your side is paying attention, that work gets done wrong. And now you own it. A competent superintendent catches all of this. They verify material deliveries, they check work in progress, they hold subcontractors accountable to the schedule and the quality standard, not just the first time, but every time. Supervision on your job site matters. Quality control matters. Accountability in the field matters. Don't let a preventable field mistake unravel a job you worked hard to win. Number 8, fucking up your estimate. This one stings because it happens before the job even starts. You submit a bid, you win the job, and then somewhere in the field you realize something was missed. A whole scope item, labor hours you undercounted, and now you're building a job, but you're losing money on it. I've seen it happen to even the most experienced estimators. Estimating is the foundation of your business. If your estimate is wrong, everything built on top of it is wrong. You need a process. You need a checklist. You need to understand your costs, labor, material, equipment, and you need to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. Know your numbers before you sign that contract, because once you're locked in, it's all over. Number 7, having bad employees. Your team is either your biggest asset or your biggest liability. There is no middle ground. Bad employees don't just underperform. They create problems that ripple through your entire operation. They create conflict on the job site. They show up late. They affect morale of your good people. And here's the part that really stings. Bad employees cost you money even when you're not looking. Theft, waste, rework, lost time, damage to your reputation with clients and subcontractors. But it goes deeper than money. Bad employees are toxic for your culture, and they are an incredible drain of your time and energy. They become vultures of your time. Constant issues, constant excuses, constant management. Every hour you spend dealing with a bad employee is an hour you're not spending growing your business. They pull you away from your core vision and keep you stuck in the weeds. And your clients notice. Your subcontractors notice. A bad employee doesn't represent themselves on the job site. They represent your entire company, everything you worked to build. I've seen owners hold on to bad employees for too long because they were scared to be shorthanded. And every single time it made things worse, not better. Here's the bottom line. When you see trouble brewing, fire fast. Don't wait for it to get worse. The quicker you remove the cancer, the better the whole body can operate without it. A team that's tight, aligned, and accountable will outperform a larger team with one bad apple every single time. You need clear expectations from day one. You need accountability systems in place. And when someone is constantly not performing, you need to make the move. Protect your team, protect your culture, and protect your business. Number 6, having a bad client. Not every client is worth working for. A bad client will nickel and dime you on every change order. They'll delay decisions, and then they blame you for the schedule. They'll find reasons not to pay. They'll threaten you with lawyers. They'll make your life miserable for the entire duration of a job. And here's something most contractors don't talk about. Bad clients drain you. They drain your energy. They drain your team's energy. Every email feels like a trap. You start dreading the job site you used to love going to. That's not just bad business. That's a battery drainer. And it bleeds into every other job you're running because you only have so much energy to give in one day. And the worst part, you saw the signs early. You just ignored them. Maybe you just needed the work. The way a client behaves before the contract is a signal on how they'll behave after. If they're beating you up on price before you even start, what do you think is going to happen when the job actually goes ahead? Qualify your clients, ask questions, check references, just trust your gut. Alex and I have walked away from work because something just felt off. And every single time we did, I was very happy we did it. The jobs I pushed through when I had a bad feeling, I always regretted it. Your time, your energy, and your reputation are worth more than any just one client. Number 5, having a bad subcontractor. Your subcontractors are an extension of your company. When they fail, you fail. When they look bad, you look bad. When they don't show up, you don't show up. A bad subcontractor can blow up a job faster than almost anything on this list. They miss their schedule. Their work fails inspection. They walk off the job. They don't have proper insurance. And here's what people don't realize. It's never isolated. A subcontractor who's behind schedule or cutting corners on quality doesn't just hurt that one area of the job. It creates a catastrophic collateral effect. The trades behind them get pushed back. Your schedule unravels. The owner sees delays and starts losing confidence in you. One weak link can take down the entire sequence of a project. And now it's your problem. Vetting your subcontractors is not optional. It's not something you do when you have time. It's non-negotiable part of running a construction business. Check their license, verify their insurance, call their references, ask the hard questions before they ever set foot on your job site. And when a subcontractor consistently underperforms, cut them loose. Don't just keep using someone because he's the only guy you got or because you don't want to find somebody new. That comfort will cost you. Your reputation is only as strong as the weakest person on your team. Number 4, not getting paid. So you did the work, you did it right, and now the check isn't coming. This is one of the most gut-punching things that can happen in this industry. You've got payroll to make, you've got suppliers to pay, you've got overhead running every single day, and the money that's supposed to be coming in isn't. Cash flow kills more construction companies than bad work does. You need to have payment terms clearly spelled out in your contract, not vague, not implied. You need it spelled out. And don't just set it and forget it. Bring payment status into your weekly owner meetings every single week. You should know exactly where you stand, what's been paid, and what's overdue. If it's not on the agenda, it's going to slip through the cracks. And get a good attorney who specializes in construction, someone who actually understands liens, retainage, and payment disputes in the construction industry. That relationship will save you more money than it costs you every single time. You need to be invoicing on time, every time. You need to follow up aggressively when payments are late. And you need to know your legal options, mechanics liens, bond claims, before you ever need to use them. Don't be afraid to slow down or stop work when you're not getting paid. A lot of contractors keep pushing because they don't want the confrontation. Meanwhile, they're just digging themselves a deeper hole. Get paid for your work. You earned it. Number 3, not having a clear scope of work. This one causes more disputes, more change order fights, and more damaged relationships than almost anything else in construction. When the scope isn't clear, everyone has a different idea on what's included. The owner thinks one thing, you think another, your subcontractor thinks something entirely different. And when those expectations collide, it gets ugly. Scope gaps are where money disappears. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. If it's not in the contract, it's a problem. If it's vague and open to interpretation, it's going to be interpreted against you. Here's something that's mandatory and not optional. Your inclusions and exclusions need to be reviewed with the owner before you ever sign the contract. Walk through them line by line. Do not assume they read it. Get their acknowledgement and make sure those inclusions and exclusions become part of the actual signed contract agreement. Not a side conversation, not an email, part of the contract. Be specific, be detailed, define what's included, define what's excluded. Make sure the owner signs off on the scope before the work starts. And when scope changes, document it immediately, every single time. A verbal agreement in construction is worth nothing. Write it down every time, no exceptions. Number 2, not having a contract. I cannot believe how many contractors still operate without a solid contract in place. It blows my mind. A handshake is not a contract. An email chain is not a contract. A contract is your protection. It defines the scope, the schedule, the payment terms, the change order process, the dispute resolution process. It protects you when things go sideways. And in construction, things will go sideways. And here's something I want to be clear about. A contract is not just there to protect you. It's there to protect both parties. It creates alignment before work ever starts. Ideally, once it's signed, It goes into a drawer and never comes back out. Because when everything is clear up front, there's nothing to fight about. But the moment there's an issue or a disagreement, that contract becomes everything. And if you don't have one, you just made your attorney's job almost impossible. When attorneys have to work harder, the billings rack up fast. What could have been a simple dispute resolution turns into a very expensive problem. I don't care if it's a small job. I don't care if it's someone you worked with before. Get it in writing every single time. Without a contract, you have zero leverage. You have no recourse. You're completely exposed. If you're out there right now executing work without a contract in place, this needs to be one of your top priorities today. Get a construction attorney to draft you a solid contract template. This is one of the best investments you will ever make in this business. Protect yourself, protect your clients, use a contract always. And number one is having a bad construction insurance with exclusions. This is number one for a reason. Everything else on this list can hurt you. This one can end you. Most contractors think they have insurance. They pay the insurance premium every year. They get their certificate of insurance and they think they're covered. And then something happens. A claim gets filed and they find out the hard way that their insurance policy has exclusions that leave them completely exposed. Faulty workmanship exclusions, height exclusions, pollution exclusions, employee injury exclusions. The list goes on and on. And here's something I want you to understand about the insurance industry. Insurance agents are in the business of making money. That's just the reality. They have hundreds of clients. And when you're one of 100, it's very easy for your specific business not to be the priority. You get a policy that looks fine on paper, but actually wasn't built for what you do. You need an insurance agent who understands your business, not just construction in general, your business specifically, what you build, how you build it, what your exposures are, because a policy that works for one contractor can be completely wrong for another. Let me give you some examples that'll make this crystal clear. Imagine you're a bar or a pub owner and you have an insurance policy that excludes injuries related to alcohol. Imagine you're a roofing contractor and you have an insurance policy that excludes injuries that occur above 15 feet. Imagine you're a landscape excavator and you have an insurance policy that excludes damages below grade. Do you technically have an insurance policy? I guess the answer is yes. But do you have an insurance policy that will actually protect you, that will let you sleep easy at night, knowing that when something goes wrong, you're covered? The answer is absolutely not. That's the trap. You feel protected. And the moment you need that policy to actually do its job, it fails you. And by then, it's too late. This is why you need an insurance agent who specializes in construction. Someone who lives in this industry, knows the exposures that construction businesses face, and will build you a policy around what you actually do. Read your policy, ask questions, have an attorney or a specialist review it. Make sure your subcontractors carry proper insurance and that you're listed as additional insured. Because the moment something goes wrong, you need to know that you're actually protected. One uncovered claim, one lawsuit, one catastrophic event without proper insurance. That's all it takes. So there it is, the top 10 ways to get fucked in construction without even knowing it. And here's what I want you to take away from this. None of these are random. None of these are bad luck. Every single one of them comes down to preparation, systems, and paying attention to the business side of what you do. The contractors who survive in this industry, who build real companies that last, they've either learned these lessons themselves or they've learned them from someone else who did. I'm giving them to you right now for free so you don't have to learn them the hard way. Because all it takes is one bad job, one missing contract, one shady subcontractor, one insurance exclusion, and everything you built collapses like a stack of cards. Don't let that be you. If this video helped you, like it, share it with another contractor who needs to hear this. Subscribe if you're serious about building a better construction business. I'm Joel Lipsky. I'll see you on the next one.